Good evening. You're watching the News at 6 with me, Shan Russell. The News at 6 is all about the day's biggest developing stories, and we'll be filling in on them over the next half hour. But first, the headlines that we're tracking right now. Entrance exams for MBBS and BDS courses through National Eligibility Entrance Test to go on as scheduled on May 1st. Supreme Court says it will go into the issue of modification in due course. Calling himself the king of bad times, liquor baron Vijay Mallya tells UK newspaper that he has no intention of returning to India in the present climate of dissent. High Court orders the government to demolish the 31-storied Adarsh Cooperative Housing Society, orders inquiry against the politicians, ministers and officers involved in the scam. And India and Papua New Guinea signed 4 MOUs, India to provide line of credit of $100 million for specific projects in transport and infrastructure sectors. Our top story this evening, the Bombay High Court today ordered the Union Environment Ministry to demolish the 31-storied Adarsh Cooperative Housing Society, saying it was illegally constructed. The court also ruled that the demolition should be carried out at the expense of the petitioners, the Adarsh Society. The court has also ordered inquiry against politicians, ministers and officers involved in the scam. The court has given 12 weeks' time to the government to appeal to the Supreme Court against the order. The order was passed by the High Court while it was hearing a petition filed by the society. The society claims they had followed all the rules and the building stood on the state's land. Now, billionaire business tycoon Vijay Mallya finally broke his silence over the 9,000 crore rupees he owes to Indian banks. In an interview to a UK newspaper, he said that he had no plans to come back to India and said that he was on a forced exile.
Businessman Vijay Mallya claims he's on forced exile. Rejecting the allegations against him, he said he was ready to pay the money he owes to the banks. In an interview, Mallya also told UK-based Financial Times that he wants a reasonable settlement for his defunct Kingfisher Airlines.
You asked me whether I could go back to India. Well, if I had a passport, I could. But right now, I'm in forced exile. I definitely would like to return to India. Right now, things are flying at me fast and furious. My passport has been revoked. I don't know what the government is going to do next. But I have always maintained that notwithstanding anything else, I'm interested in a settlement with the Kingfisher Airline bankers and would like to repeat that I will reach out if they are interested in making a settlement.
Mallya claimed he was quite happy to stay on in the UK and had no plans to return to India because of the current climate. Asked why did the banks reject his proposal to pay an additional 2,468 crore rupees along with his earlier 4,400 crore rupee offer, Mallya claimed they were scared of the current political climate in India.
Filings before the Debt Recovery Tribunal by the consortium of bankers is of a principal amount of little over £500 million. The rest is towards unapplied interest.
Right. And the banks say it's 900 million.
Well, I don't know whether it's the banks or the media or a combination of the two.
A dangerous combination.
Indeed, but that's how India is.
On Thursday, the Ministry of External Affairs wrote to the UK High Commission to deport Mallya, who allegedly left the country with loan defaults of nearly 9,000 crore rupees.
The Ministry has written to the High Commission of the United Kingdom in Delhi requesting the deportation of Shri Vijay Mallya so that his presence can be secured for investigations against him under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002.
Political parties have reacted strongly to Mallya's interview.
Stark truth is that Vijay Mallya ran away with active connivance and protection of Modi government. Will Modi ji answer? Will Arun Jaitley ji answer how 9,091 crore rupees of money belonging to the common persons of India will be recovered from the companies of Vijay Mallya? Who tipped off Vijay Mallya to run away?
ये उनका कहना है कि वो बैंक्स के साथ सेटल करना चाहते हैं, लेकिन वो सेटल करना चाहते हैं जितना उन्होंने मूलधन लोन लिया उतना भी नहीं देना चाहते हैं। इस आधार पर कहीं कोई सेटलमेंट थोड़ा ना होगा। और ये भाई उनको शर्म आनी चाहिए, लोन लेकर करके पचा करके भाग गए, वो तो भगोरे हैं। ये बहुत एकदम उनको डिपोर्ट करवाना जरूरी है।
The fugitive liquor baron Mallya also denied charges of money laundering and invited the government to investigate the matter. The Enforcement Directorate has issued a non-bailable warrant against him. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Time now for all the election-related news in our special segment, Verdict 2016. Now, voting for the fifth phase in West Bengal will take place tomorrow. 90,000 personnel of 680 companies of central and state police forces have been deployed for this election. 2 police observers will be present in each district to monitor the law and order situation, while the Election Commission has identified over 4,000 vulnerable areas. Meanwhile, the Left Front requested the Commission to seal interstate borders. 53 constituencies spread across the districts of South 24 Parganas, Kolkata and Hooghly will go to the polls tomorrow beginning 7 a.m. 349 candidates are in the fray, including 43 women and at least 43 other millionaire candidates. Among the prominent leaders, West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee will face Congress leader Deepa Das Munshi and Chandra Bose from the BJP from the Bhawanipur constituency. The filing of nominations for assembly elections in Kerala and Tamil Nadu and Puducherry ended today. Scrutiny of the papers will be held on Saturday and candidates can withdraw nominations till Monday. Voting for the 234-member assembly in Tamil Nadu, the 30-member assembly in Puducherry and Kerala's 140 seats will take place on the 16th of May, while the countings will happen on the 19th. The important candidates include Chief Minister Jayalalitha, Oommen Chandy and stalwart leaders like Karunanidhi and V.S. Achyutanandan and cricketer turned politician S. Srisant. Now in Kerala, Chief Minister Oommen Chandy filed his nomination papers in Kottayam today. Chandy is contesting as the Congress-led UDF candidate from the Puthupalli constituency in Central Travancore district of Kottayam for the 11th time. Chandy has not lost from Puthupalli since his first victory in 1970. The Chief Minister also offered prayers at the local church before filing his nomination. He was accompanied by family members, party leaders and thousands of party workers. Speaking after filing his nomination, Chandy said he was confident that the Congress will create history by returning to power. Meanwhile, former Kerala Chief Minister V.S. Achyutanandan hit back at Chandy for alleging that he was faced with at least half a dozen Lokayukta cases. Chandy had early filed a defamation suit against Achyutanandan for what he called making baseless allegations and against him and his cabinet colleagues. Achyutanandan had claimed during the poll campaigning that Chandy was facing 31 corruption cases and the state cabinet ministers were facing together 136 cases. The Chief Minister had also filed a complaint with the Election Commission stating that the CPM veteran's remarks were in violation of the Model Code of Conduct. Chandy threatened to take legal action if Achyutanandan did not withdraw his statement.
His lawyers submitted before court that there is no case pending anywhere. So then I said that it is not proper. There are cases pending before the Lokayukta, and I showed the Lokayukta list in which it is very clearly stated that 6 cases are pending investigation and is going on evidence, and 6 other cases are pending preliminary investigation against Oommen Chandy.
Now, the entrance examination for MBBS and BDS courses will go ahead as planned in 2 phases. That's on the 1st of May and the 24th of July. A request by the Union Government to hold the exam on a single date on the 24th of July was turned down. This after the Supreme Court said it would go into the issue of modification in due course after the concerned parties filed their applications in this regard.
The Union Government moved the Supreme Court on Friday seeking modification of Thursday's order allowing state governments and private colleges to hold separate entrance examinations for MBBS and BDS courses for the academic year 2016-17. Attorney General Mukul Rohatgi said there were some genuine difficulties in holding a two-phased single common entrance test for MBBS, BDS and PG courses through the National Eligibility Entrance Test on May 1st and July 24th. So all the students be allowed to take the exam on July 24th. But the request was turned down.
So far as the prayer before the Honorable Supreme Court is that to constitute the bench and to rehear the matter. And I have been informed that the Honorable Supreme Court has refused to constitute the bench as of now. There is no bench which is being constituted. The examination as slated on 1st May 2016 will take place. This will be the first phase of NEET examination. NEET is basically National Eligibility Cum Entrance Test. You will acquire eligibility only when you take the test. And there will be second phase which will take place in July. As of now, there is no change in this situation.
Earlier, MPs cutting across party lines opposed holding of the first phase of common entrance test on May 1st, saying it gives little time to students. Some of the MPs also demanded that states be given time till 2018 to adapt.
आपके माध्यम से सरकार से अपेक्षा है कि जो कल 1 मई का है इस टेस्ट को जो दो है कि नेशनल एलिजिबिलिटी कम एंट्रेंस टेस्ट 1 और 2 इसको दोनों को कंबाइंड करके एक साथ 24 जुलाई को हो जाए जिससे कि 17 अगस्त के रिजल्ट में आ जाए।
कि पहली रिक्वेस्ट ये है कि ये 2018 को करने की दिशा में केंद्र सरकार द्वारा इस बारे में स्पेशल लीव पिटीशन अगर सरकार लाएगी तो कुछ ना कुछ मदद होगी। अगर ये बात नहीं हो सकती है अध्यक्ष जी तो कम से कम 3 महीने का समय यानी 24 जुलाई को जो एग्ज़ाम है उस 24 जुलाई के एग्ज़ाम में कम से कम सभी लोगों को अपेयर होने का मौका मिले।
सारे राज्यों में इसको प्रखर विरोध हो रहा है। मैं आपके माध्यम से HRD मिनिस्टर को कहती हूँ सुप्रीम कोर्ट पे जाए, ये निर्णय आपका है, उसको हम उसकी सराहना करते हैं, लेकिन एक बात ध्यान में रखें, ये 2018 से इसे लागू करें।
The Supreme Court had ordered on Thursday that the National Eligibility Entrance Test or NEET be held in 2 phases. But the decision was opposed by some states which said it was illegal and unconstitutional. Pranav Goswami's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Now, the second day of his visit to Papua New Guinea, President Pranab Mukherjee stressed on strengthening ties with the Pacific Island countries in order to achieve peace and sustainable development. India and Papua New Guinea also signed 4 MOUs in various sectors.
In a major boost to bilateral ties between India and Papua New Guinea, the two sides signed 4 MOUs in areas of agriculture, health, information technology and infrastructure. The MOUs were signed in the presence of President Pranab Mukherjee and the Papua New Guinea Prime Minister Peter O'Neill. Under one of the MOUs, India will provide a line of credit of $100 million for specific projects in transport and infrastructure sectors in Papua New Guinea. An MOU on health covers areas such as public health, HR and training, medical services, disease control and prevention. Another MOU envisages establishment of a center of excellence in information technology in Papua New Guinea. The 4th MOU delineates all-round cooperation in agriculture research and training. In a joint statement, the two sides also highlighted various international and regional issues, including terrorism, India's candidature for permanent membership of the UN Security Council, and maritime security. The President also visited the University of Papua New Guinea and addressed the students and faculty there. Mukherjee paid his respects at the statue of Mahatma Gandhi at the university. The President also laid floral wreath at a memorial in Port Moresby War Cemetery to pay tribute to the Indian soldiers killed during World War II in Papua New Guinea. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Time for us to take a short break. Lots more on the other side. Do stay tuned.
Hello and welcome to Rajya Sabha TV. You're watching Constitutionally Yours.
There are countries after countries which are completely abolishing death sentences.
At some point of time, there has to be some kind of a check and an accountability.
It is misconception that these privileges and etc. are not regulated.
Is there a limit as to the number of times a mercy petition can be filed in a particular case?
There should be no limit of filing mercy petitions.
Join us as we try to understand contemporary issues related to the Constitution. Watch Constitutionally Yours on Rajya Sabha Television.
Welcome back. You're watching the news at 6. Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address a joint meeting of the U.S. Congress on the 8th of June at the invitation of the Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives. Modi is visiting the United States at President Barack Obama's invitation for a bilateral visit. Speaking about the invitation to Modi, Paul Ryan, the Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives, called the friendship between the U.S. and India a pillar of stability in an important region of the world. He said that Modi's address will present a special opportunity to hear from the elected leader of the world's most populous democracy on how the two nations can promote shared values and increase prosperity. Former Prime Ministers Manmohan Singh, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, P.V. Narasimha Rao and Rajiv Gandhi have all addressed similar joint meetings of the U.S. Congress. Now, UN Chief Ban Ki-moon held meetings with the Special Envoy for Syria a day after fighting escalated in the Syrian city of Aleppo. Over 200 civilians have been killed in the violence in Syria during the last week. Meanwhile, the U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry expressed outrage after 50 people were killed in an attack on a hospital. Here's more.
The Syrian ceasefire is in tatters. Aleppo is pulled back into war zone once again. Fighting resumed after peace talks collapsed in Geneva. Assad forces renewed attacks to take areas, while rebels hit back at government-held areas to keep their last supply routes. Nearly 50 people were killed on Thursday when airstrikes hit a hospital.
Even not being directly an MSF hospital, our position, of course, is the position of outrage and profound condemnation. It cannot be admitted that a fully functional medical facility in the middle of a war, taking care of the most vulnerable, is hit as a result of a military action.
The UN has warned the situation has become catastrophic. According to the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, 123 civilians, including 18 children, were killed in the past week. Several others were killed in other parts of the city. UN Chief Ban Ki-moon urged Russia and the US to exert pressure on Syria's warring sides to stop fighting and to observe the cessation of hostilities. White House condemned fresh attacks.
This does place even more pressure on an already fragile cessation of hostilities. And it's the continued violation of that cessation of hostilities by the Assad regime and supporting forces that is also having a negative impact on the political talks.
The Geneva peace talks was an olive branch both for the West and Syria. For Syria to de-escalate fighting, and for the West a chance to end the war that has led to Europe's worst refugee crisis, as well as to control the rise of Islamic State. With negotiations failed, the ceasefire now hangs in the balance. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Time now for all the sports action in Sports Beat. Ace Indian shuttler Saina Nehwal has advanced to the semi-final of the Badminton Asia Championships in Wuhan in China. She defeated China's Shijiao Wang 21-16, 21-19 in straight games. Saina is the lone Indian left in the tournament as P.V. Sindhu lost out in the quarterfinals on Thursday. A day after equaling the world record, Deepika Kumari made a shock quarter-final exit from the individual events of the Archery World Cup first stage in Shanghai. The top seed Deepika, who got a bye into round 3 following her world record in the qualification round, tumbled against Maya Yeager 4-6. Lakshmi Rani Maji and Jayanta Talukdar also made quarter-finals exits as India's campaign ended in the individual category. Suspended UEFA President Michel Platini arrived at the Court of Arbitration for Sport in Lausanne today. The former French international is appealing against a 6-year ban from taking part in international soccer activity. The ban is related to payment of 2 million Swiss francs made to him in 2011 and was imposed by the World Soccer governing body FIFA. A decision could come early next week. Villarreal scored an injury-time winner to take a 1-0 advantage in the first leg of the Champions League semi-final against Liverpool. The match looked set for a draw in Spain until Villarreal substitute Adrian Lopez tapped in Denis Suarez's cross in the dying moments of the match. The two teams will now meet for the second leg at Anfield on the 5th of May. Well, that's it from us. Goodbye.